When you imagine someone past 70 living alone, what flickers through your mind? Maybe it's a dim snapshot, a solitary figure in a too big house, shadows stretching across empty rooms, the weight of isolation pressing down. Society often paints it that way, a cautionary tale of risk and loneliness, a chapter to avoid. But what if that's a lie we've been sold? What if living alone between 70 and 85 isn't a retreat into darkness, but a radiant, hard-won victory? A chance to step into a life so fully yours it feels like a second dawn. It's not about turning your back on the world. It's about swinging wide the gate to a space where your desires hum, your days unfold at your pace, and peace settles in like an old friend curling up by the fire. People fear it means fading, being left behind, vulnerable, unmoored. But for countless older Americans, it's the opposite, a reclaiming of power, a rediscovery of joy, a quiet roar of "I'm still here." This isn't about severing bonds, it's about stitching together a life with purpose, woven from threads of choice, stillness, and self. In this video, we're exploring 6 profound, often overlooked reasons why choosing to live alone in your 70s or early 80s isn't just practical. It's a soul-deep celebration. If you've ever felt the tug of doubt about independence, or if the world's tried to convince you solitude is a burden, not a blessing, stay with me. What you'll uncover here might stir your heart, lift your spirit, and leave you with a quiet, unshakable hope. Let's dive in. Number 1. The power of owning your days. There's a sacred freedom in shaping your own hours, a thrill that feels almost rebellious, yet tender as a whisper. Picture it, deciding when to brew your coffee, black and strong, or sip tea with honey as the sun climbs. Choosing whether to fill your kitchen with the warm strum of a guitar or let the morning unfold in golden silence. Opting to sink into a novel or wander barefoot in your yard, no one nudging you to hurry up or hush down. When you live alone, every moment bends to your will. No debates over the evening news volume, no compromising on chili or soup for supper, no justifying why you'd rather watch the stars than a sitcom. It's small, yes, but it's seismic, a reclaiming of a voice that might have softened over decades of pleasing others. Take Evelyn, a 72-year-old from Boise, Idaho. After her husband's passing, she moved into her daughter's chaotic home in Portland. 3 kids, 2 dogs, a whirlwind of love and noise. She treasured the closeness, the sticky hugs, the meals spiced with laughter. But bit by bit, she faded. Her mornings surrendered to school runs, her evenings swallowed by cartoons she didn't choose. She stopped brewing her Earl Grey because it clashed with the family's instant coffee rush. 2 years in, she felt like a guest in her own life. Then she made a choice, a modest bungalow back in Boise, hers alone. That first night, she cranked up Ella Fitzgerald, danced in her socks across the hardwood, and wept, not from sorrow, but from the flood of freedom. She wasn't just reclaiming space, she was reclaiming herself. That's the gift of living alone. Choice becomes your compass. It's not about shutting out help, it's about guarding your dignity, your right to say, "This is mine." When you share a home, even with the best intentions, your edges blur. Your routines twist to fit theirs. Your quirks feel like apologies. But alone, you're the sculptor of your days, chiseling out a life that mirrors your soul. It's a quiet power that roots deep, whispering, "You're not just aging, you're reigning." That reign builds a pride so sturdy, it carries you forward with a steadiness you might have thought was lost to youth. Number 2. A sanctuary of stillness. There's a hush that settles when you're alone, a stillness not of absence, but of presence, soft as a river stone smoothed by time. It's the absence of clanging pots you didn't touch, voices you didn't summon, footsteps you didn't expect at dawn. Instead, it's the murmur of your breath, the rustle of wind through the pines outside, the faint groan of your favorite armchair as you settle in. This isn't a void, it's a sanctuary, a canvas of calm you paint with the sounds you choose. A bird's trill, a kettle's whistle, or nothing at all. Consider Margaret, a 76-year-old from Savannah, Georgia. 4 years, her home thrummed with her son's family. 2 tornadoes of grandkids, a dog that barked at shadows. She loved them with every fiber, but the chaos was relentless. Shrieks, spills, the TV's endless drone. By dusk, she was a husk, nerves jangling, sleep a distant dream. When they moved out, she braced for a hollow ache. Instead, she found a gift. She'd sit on her porch swing, the evening air thick with jasmine, crickets serenading her slowing pulse. Her hands steadied, her thoughts untangled. "I didn't know I was drowning in noise," she said. until I surfaced in quiet. That stillness is medicine. Science says it soothes your nervous system, melts stress like snow in spring, quiets the cortisol that gnaws at your peace. When you live with others, their energy seeps in, their rush, their tempers, their clatter. You carry it, even when you don't mean to, until you forget what calm feels like in your marrow. Alone, you dial the world down, curating a peace that cradles you. It's not loneliness, it's a balm, a chance to hear your own heartbeat again. Once that stillness wraps around you, it's not just comfort, it's a lifeline you'll fight to keep. Number 3. The joy of your own clock. Imagine waking when your body sighs, yes, not when an alarm or a housemate yanks you from sleep. Eating when hunger calls, not when the table's set for someone else's noon. Strolling to the mailbox or curling up with a quilt because it suits you, not because it aligns with another's plans. Living alone hands you the reins to your time, a liberty so pure it feels like a love letter to yourself. Think of James, an 80-year-old from Boulder, Colorado. After his wife passed, he bunked with his niece in Denver, a safety net of chatter and care. At first, it warmed him, pancakes with the kids, late-night talks. But soon, his days warped, breakfast at their 7 a.m. sharp, evenings hijacked by sitcoms he didn't like. He missed his oatmeal ritual, spiced with cinnamon and memory, missed sketching the Rockies as the light faded. When he returned to his cabin, the shift was electric. He'd sip coffee till noon if the mood struck, paint past midnight when the muse whispered. His daughter fretted he'd wither, but he grinned. Wither? I'm alive again, on my time. That's the alchemy. Your rhythm heals you. When you bend to another's clock, you lose slivers of yourself. Meals rushed, naps skipped, quiet joys shelved. Alone, you tune into your body's song, your spirit's pulse. It's not isolation, it's intimacy with your own needs, a dance with days that feel less like duty and more like grace. That alignment doesn't just sustain you, it lifts you, turning every hour into a small, shining gift. Number 4. A quiet courage grows. There's a resilience that unfurls when you turn the key in your own lock, tally your bills, wrestle a jar open, or decide tonight's for soup because it warms your soul. It's not the loud bravado of youth, it's a steady glow, a courage born of, I can, and I will. Living alone after 70 doesn't just free you, it forges you, brick by brick, into someone who knows their worth. Meet Clara, an 83-year-old from Asheville, North Carolina. She'd spent a lifetime caregiving, parents, kids, a husband through illness. When her sister died, family assumed she'd fold into her son's Raleigh home. But Clara chose her mountain cottage, trembling but resolute. Could she handle the solitude, the upkeep? She could and did. She budgeted for a new roof, planted basil in cracked pots, fixed a lamp with shaky hands and a YouTube tutorial. One dusk, sipping tea she'd grown herself, she murmured, "I'm not just old, I'm mighty." That's the miracle. Every act of self-reliance stitches confidence back into your seams. Aging whispers you'll weaken, but living alone proves you sharpen. Mind, heart, grit. It's not about pride for others, it's a vow to yourself, I'm still the captain here. That quiet courage becomes a lantern, illuminating paths you thought had dimmed, filling you with a pride that's soft but fierce, a flame that warms the years ahead. Number 5. Less friction, more freedom. Sharing a home, even with love, brews friction, grumbles over crumbs, tugs over the heat, moods that clash like storm clouds. It's not always shouting matches, it's the slow drip of compromise that erodes your ease. Alone, that dissolves. No sidestepping tempers, no muting your hum to keep peace. Just you, unshackled. Take Thomas, a 78-year-old from Austin, Texas. Post-knee surgery, he bunked with his daughter's crew, tacos on Tuesdays, movie marathons. He adored them, but the edges rubbed raw. She'd chide his late-night lamp glow, he'd bristle at her blasting pop. After a year, he traded it for a condo downtown. The shift was a revelation. Blues records at full tilt, midnight snacks without a glance, a grin that lingered. "I didn't ditch family," he said. "I rescued my calm." Living alone carves out peace, saves your spark for joy, not jostling. You choose when to connect, coffee with friends, calls with kids, on terms that fill, not drain. It's not retreat, it's a clearing, a chance to breathe wide and love deep, unburdened by the daily grind of shared walls. That freedom doesn't just lighten you, it lets you soar. Number 6. finding yourself in the quiet. When the house hushes and the clamor fades, a door creaks open, to you. Alone, between 70 and 85, the silence isn't a gap, it's a bridge to your core. Without others' voices crowding in, you hear your own, soft at first, then bold. What lights you up? What dreams still flicker? What makes your spirit sing? That's not solitude, it's a homecoming, raw and radiant. Consider Lillian, an 81-year-old from Monterey, California. She'd raised 3 kids, hosted decades of chaos, Thanksgivings, graduations, life. After her husband's death, the quiet stung. Friends pushed her to relocate, join the bustle. She stayed. She wrote letters to her younger self, painted the Pacific's churn at sunrise, sat with the waves' rhythm till it matched her own. One twilight, brush in hand, she said, "I thought I'd vanished. But I was here, waiting to be found." That's the grace. Stillness births knowing. Years of roles, parent, partner, pillar, bury parts of you. Alone, you unearth them. Maybe it's poetry, maybe it's prayer, maybe it's tracing the sky's arc with a cup of tea, no rush, no mask. It's not loss, it's depth, a chance to ask, who am I now? And hear the answer in every breath. Aging isn't fading, it's peeling back to your essence, a reunion that doesn't just comfort but transforms. Living alone after 70 gets tangled in myths, lonely, perilous, a last gasp. But for so many, it's the reverse, a return, a triumph, a defiant yes to living fully while you can. It's not exile, it's embrace, cradling the life you've earned, every scar a story, every line a laugh, every boundary a badge. This space lets you think unbroken, feel unjudged, be unscripted. It's you with the one who's seen it all, you, and that bond isn't lesser, it's profound. So if this calls to you, don't heed the chorus of caution. Listen inward. How does your chest rise when the house stills? How does your mind bloom when no one's watching? How does your soul stretch when the day's yours to hold? Those whispers won't thunder, but they'll guide, gentle, true, yours. This isn't just a chapter, it's a homecoming to the you that's been waiting, patient and radiant, all along. Thank you for walking this with us. Drop a note below. What stirred you? How might it ripple into your days? Your words light our way, fuel this journey. If this moved you, like, subscribe, share. Let's keep weaving stories that matter. See you soon.